Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful day. And I just have so much to share with you today. Has anybody thought about plastics? Yes, I'm seeing head nods. Yes, you've thought about plastics. Well, I got an article in a magazine yesterday. My fitness club sends us a beautiful magazine every, I don't know, month, I guess. And I ripped one article out of the magazine because I thought it was interesting. And it says, how to help your body manage microplastics. I mean, even the title alone is kind of scary, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning
Mm-hmm.
you only get to manage them.
I don't want to manage them. I want to get rid of them.
You want to get rid of them. I want to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see what this article talks about first. And then we'll go into how we could change the title of the article to something a little more brilliant, like how to help your body get rid of microplastics, right? Not manage them. We don't want to manage stuff. We don't want to manage cancer. We don't want to manage
No.
arthritis. We want to get rid of all of those. So we're going to change the title to how to help your body get rid of microplastics. And in this article, it tells you what microplastics are. Can anybody tell me what they are? Because I actually have a little video I could share with you. Would you like to see the video, or do you want to tell me what you think they are? Where are they? Microplastics. What are they?
Aren't they just plastics well, plastic never breaks down. It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Correct.
And we absorb it.
Yes.
Eat it,
we do.
eat it, drink it, breathe it like toxins.
Yeah, I understand it's in our blood. It's in we get about
Nasty.
a credit card size amount of it in our system a week, is what I've read.
We get a lot. Yes, we do.
And it's in
Scary.
our brain.
It's scary.
It gets when nothing else gets in, microplastic does.
Exactly. So let me just share this with you. Would this be okay? It's a 4-minute video. And here we go. Let's hit play. Hit play.
Okay, you're at work heating up your lunch in some plastic Tupperware, but that Thai food isn't the only thing you're eating. Your diet also includes a bit of that plastic container. These are known as microplastics. They're in our food, our water, and even in the air we breathe. And while research into microplastics has focused on their environmental impact, new studies are showing the alarming toll they take on our health.
Microplastics are basically little plastics. They're essentially invisible, but they're everywhere. We have let plastics get essentially out of control in our environment. Now we're all consuming them.
Tracy is director of UCSF's program on reproductive health and the environment. Her team recently analyzed over a dozen animal studies on microplastics linked to cancer, infertility, and more. So what is it about microplastic that makes it so harmful to our health? Most plastics are made from polyethylene, which comes from oil. And yeah, that kind of oil. Then it's mixed with a cocktail of chemicals that make our bendy straws bend and our cling wrap cling. Since the 1950s, the world has fallen in love with plastics to make anything and everything in our lives.
Just one word. Plastics.
Plastic has become so ubiquitous because it's supposed to be indestructible.
Dishes that bounce when they drop to the floor.
But we now know that's not really true. Washing our polyester and nylon clothes creates microplastics, which leach into the water system and then to our food. Driving on tires shreds microplastics into the air. Heating plastic bottles sheds microplastics into our drinks, which is why researchers have found microplastics everywhere, like in human bloodstreams, our waste, and maybe most surprisingly, in placentas, meaning microplastics can impact our health even before we're born. Now, fetal development thrives on hormones connecting with their receptors to grow certain organs. But chemicals and microplastics can interfere with that process by either mimicking hormones or changing how much of those hormones are produced. For example, male fetuses need lots of testosterone to develop their sex organs, but phthalates, a class of chemical used in certain plastics, can get in the way.
They reduce the synthesis of testosterone through different mechanisms so that when the child grows up later, it may not be that they don't produce sperm, but they may produce less sperm, or their sperm may not all be as functional as they would have been if they hadn't had this exposure.
Some studies on phthalates suggest they can even increase erectile dysfunction. If that wasn't alarming enough, because food and drinks are major sources of microplastics, the effects they have on digestive systems are looking grim. Scientists have long studied the biological mechanisms that can increase your risk of cancer. Smoking or chowing down on lots of red meat increases oxidative stress. This process creates proteins called cytokines, which cause inflammation. And study after study links these two things with higher rates of cancer. The UC team's review found that consuming plastic has similar effects. In one study, researchers noticed an increase in both oxidative stress and inflammation in mice's intestines after they were fed microplastics. Now, more research needs to be done on humans, but the UC team's review suggested that microplastics are probably hazardous to human health. Unlike so-called forever chemicals, which are found in a ton of products, many microplastics and their chemicals are cleared from our bodies, like through bathroom breaks. But because we use so much plastic, our bodies never really get a break.
I think once we have more evidence, we're just going to see that there's way more health effects that we haven't identified yet that are coming from these microplastics. We are trying to mitigate them before more harm is done.
Avoiding plastics altogether is impossible.
Wish I knew how to quit you. Why don't you?
But there are ways to reduce your microplastics intake.
Just don't microwave of plastic. That's actually kind of a big one that people don't realize.
One study showed some staggering numbers. For example, 3 minutes in the microwave is enough to loosen plastics' molecular bonds and release millions of microplastics. So when you can, store and heat your food in non-plastic containers like glass or ceramics. Experts also advise drinking tap water instead of bottled water, eating more fruits and vegetables, since microplastic chemicals accumulate in animal fat, and be sure to clean your house with a wet mop, since microplastics love to cling to dust. So what do you do to avoid microplastics? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to know what sugar does to your body, check out our other video, which breaks it all down.
Microplastics.
Oh, hang on. Let's get rid of that guy. And come back to you. There we go. A short video, but kind of astonishing to see all that plastic in one place, isn't it? Holy moly. So what advice did you get from that video? Did you
Quit
get any advice?
Quit using so much plastic.
Yeah, don't microwave in plastic at all. But we've been doing that for, I mean, plastic bottles came into being when Wade was a baby, and he's 57 this next week. So, and saran wrap, that was I remember my grandma having saran wrap. That was in the 50s. That was a marvel. You could cover things and it actually stayed covered. Our whole lives have been covered with plastic.
Exactly. We've had so much plastic. I saw the microwave idea. Don't microwave. Well, here, stay away from the microwave altogether. Don't do that.
Period.
Period. But heating up plastic releases plastic into the food or the water.
Yeah, I appreciated them pointing that out because I couldn't figure out how it would do. You don't see anything, after you empty the bowl. There's nothing, you don't see dents in there.
No, you don't, but it is micro. So we're talking tiny. And think of how many times the water bottles, like if you buy a big stack of them at Costco, how much has that been exposed to heat? Do you store it in your car on a hot day? So that's just one thing, one example. I remember when I was growing up, Green Giant vegetables were in plastic sealed containers, frozen vegetables, and you take this pouch and you put it into
Don't
a
remember
pan of
those.
boiling water, which it gave us, beautiful peas, right? Little baby peas with butter and all that, but it heated up the plastic and we were eating plastic with our peas.
They said it was safe, Rosemary.
Of course they did. Of course they said it was safe. Holy moly,
I
right?
could support them. So
Never. The government is always going to do a cover up. It's safe.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Even Roundup's safe.
So I found another article, and I can send you this later. I'm a microplastics researcher. Here's how I limit their dangers. Okay, again, limiting their dangers. In other words, managing, right? So this was written by Laura Gonzalez, and she says, okay, I highlighted a few things. Good thing I did. It says the available evidence from animal studies led them to warn that ingested microplastics appear to reduce fertility and may increase the risk of cancer, particularly in the digestive tract. Now that's something that the little video showed us also. And and what are they made of? Well, it depends on their source, and they come from the breakdown of plastics. So BPA, that's bisphenol A, which used to be popular in baby bottles. That was a popular plastic used to make baby bottles. And let's see, until a consumer boycott or forever chemicals like phthalates that you might find in cosmetics or PFAs. Those are the forever chemicals. Why are they forever? They never break down. They never disassemble their chemical structure. Perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances used in nonstick cookware and even dental floss.
Yeah.
So this brand of dental floss, I used to use a lot. And then I noticed something changed about it. Something weird. It was like it felt different. It was coiling differently. It looked weird to me. And so I looked into dental floss, and what did I discover?
Oh, crap.
Ick.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so I went to New Seasons and I found this brand, which is 100% vegan waxed mint. This one's a mint.
Can you send us a photo of that?
Sure. And you know what? If you stand in the aisle at New Seasons or a place that has natural dental floss kind of things, you're going to find stuff like this, and you have to maybe try them and see how they work. This one didn't shred as badly as some others that I tried. You don't want them shredding on you either because they'll get stuck somewhere. And then you have to figure out how to get it out of there. But this one has lots of different essential oils in it. And I don't know what kind of wax it's using, but it's vegan. So we know it's not
Beeswax, maybe? I don't
no,
know.
no beeswax and no mineral wax. No beeswax, no mineral wax. It is vegan wax. So I don't know what that is, but it's safe. I deem it safe. And it's something you can begin to incorporate for yourself. Now, in this article on that I got from my club, how to manage them. Number one, it says, aside from avoiding, I mean, we can avoid as much as we want, but can we really avoid plastics?
No.
No, we really
In the
can't.
air.
You know,
I'm surprised from that. Says the tires. I mean, we've got millions of cars running all over.
Yep, it's in the air because
So I
it's
didn't know
attracted
that
to
the
dust.
tires were. I mean, if you're in traffic, you're breathing plastic.
In plastic, yep, you are. So it's really impossible to avoid. I mean, after I was done brushing my teeth this morning, I looked at my toothbrush and I said, oh, cripe. It's
Yeah.
plastic, right? It's hard to avoid. You got to brush your teeth. What are you going to brush your teeth with? I don't know, my finger and something?
Actually,
Maybe.
there's a natural bristle brush you can get.
Okay, I'm
season.
going to look at that. I will look at
There
that.
is, any health
So,
food store would have stuff like that. That's natural. More and more is coming out. Yeah.
so the idea is become aware. That's number one, always become aware, right? And number two is avoid as much as possible, right? But then what? Because,
Eliminate.
right, eliminate as much as possible you can from your environment.
And
And
from your body.
yeah,
Yep.
make substitutions, right? Don't use plastic containers, use glass. Don't use this, use that. So spend some time looking around and becoming aware of how you can avoid and eliminate from your environment. And here's what the article says. Number one, support detox. Wow,
Yay.
do we do that? Do we support detox? How do we support detox? We have two different kinds that I can think of off the top of my head.
We've got Cell Defender.
Cell Defender is our number
Yeah.
one support for
Yeah.
detox. What about the gut? Do we have anything else that is going to help support detox in the gut?
Well,
Fiber.
it's immunity, the immune system.
Fiber.
Fiber.
Well, pretty
Fiber,
much
yeah.
all of our products will have
Mhm.
detoxolite in it, but our fiber is also going to work really well at supporting gut health and doing some elimination from the gut. And then we have one more really, really special detox. Do you know what it is?
Wouldn't that be nano silver? That gets
Mm,
rid of stuff?
Well, nanosilver will kill the parasites and yeast.
Right. Anything live.
Ta-da!
Ah,
Balance.
How does balance
your
detox
hormones.
Well, the function, the liver function. It's got to
liver
be in the
function?
liver because it supports the liver.
Yep.
And with the detoxolite that's in the balance, when it hits the gut, basically what it's supposed to do is enhance all the other ingredients, but also helps prevent anything from leaving the gut to go in the liver. But if it does, the liver should be able to say goodbye.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, we have it all. I mean, it has detoxolite in it. So, but I think the liver is a big part of it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Okay, hang
Mhm.
on. I'm going to bring something up here. Oops, not that one.
Gotta go.
Bye, Star. Talk
Bye.
later.
Bye,
Hug.
Star. You'll have to catch the recording.
I will. Bye.
All right. So I guess I didn't bring it up on this computer, but what you may want to do is go into the back office or into the links where Rick gives his presentation on balance. Where Rick gives his presentation on balance, he shows you the functional pathways of the liver.
Hmm.
And it's not just detoxolite in our balance product. What is it? It's the Celluthrive
Mhm.
in there. Celluthrive is calcium D-glucarate,
Mhm.
and it is going to, hang on, remember that picture in the video where it showed how hormones fit, right? And when hormones fit into the chemical reaction that they need to fit into, things work, right? But when plastics fit into there and they take the place of the normal functioning of whatever is going on, then things don't work anymore. You have infertility issues, hormone imbalances, possible cancer, digestive issues, all kinds of stuff happening when microplastics fit in instead of hormones. And so an ingredient in balance will absolutely get rid of those microplastics that are taking the place in the chemical reactions.
Mm.
It is Celluthrive. It is a vegan product, and Celluthrive is going to help with that.
So how does it get rid of it?
Okay, so here, let me see if I can read it. One of the liver transformation pathways allows the body to deal with excess hormones and hormone-like compounds. That process is called phase 2 glucuronidation. It's always been Rick's favorite biochemical process. He says, "What's yours?" Mine is. Okay, during this process, chemical carcinogens, steroid hormones, and other lipid-soluble toxins are bound up with glucuronic acid in the liver. That's glucuronidation. And excreted with the urine. An enzyme called beta-glucuronidase can free up potential toxins, making it possible for them to be reabsorbed rather than excreted. Calcium D-glucarate, which is in our balance, that's the Celluthrive, stops beta-glucuronidase activity, increasing the excretion of these compounds. Inhibition of beta-glucuronidase ultimately results in decreasing the risk of cancer that can be caused by these compounds. Calcium D-glucarate has been clinically shown to reduce risks associated with hormone-sensitive cancers, and these include prostate and testicular cancer in men, as well as breast, ovarian, cervical, and uterine cancer in women. This is in your back office. And if it's not in the back office, it's in Avini Health Training. That's where you can find it. You can download it, you can print it, you can read it. There's also in there his slide presentation that he gave on stage to us at our event. So if you have not become familiar with the individual ingredients in balance, now's the time, because it's becoming more evident that, magazine articles are talking about microplastics, and all they have to offer us is to manage them. Manage. But we have solutions, right? So detox was number 1, and under that it says eat your fiber. Do we have a fiber? Yes, we have a fiber. And it says also supplement with activated charcoal and bentonite clay. Well, we don't need to do that, do we? We have our Detoxolite, our cell defender. And then it goes into reduce exposure and avoid mixing food and plastics. Not an easy thing, but if you take a look around your kitchen, what do you buy for products? I mean, even if you buy a box of cereal or a bag of cereal, you're getting plastics. Everything is in plastics. It's so hard to avoid. However, we do have ways to deal with it. We do have ways to begin to get it out. Now, what about clothing? Clothing. I wear cotton, linen, and silk as much as possible. If I see a label that says polyester, I don't buy it. What's polyester?
It's microplastic.
It is. It's yeah.
Yeah.
So we can avoid, when we become aware, we can avoid more things that we have in contact with our skin. So that's including clothing. Also sheets. Don't forget the sheets you're sleeping on. Are you using cotton sheets, or are you finding a polyester blend? Don't do polyester. You're sleeping on plastic. What about your dishwasher soap? It makes me crazy, or laundry detergent. Makes me crazy that they package it in little microplastic pods, I think they call them, pods.
This is dissolves, Rosemary.
Oh, yes, it dissolves. And oh my God. And it's going to coat your dishes. It's going to coat your laundry. It's coating everything with plastic. And what doesn't get coated is going into our water supply, right? And it ends up in our environment. So become aware, avoid as much as possible, and cleaning your home, of course, using a HEPA filter. If you have a HEPA filter in your home, use it because that will trap some of the dust containing microplastics. Of course, they recommend a drinking tap water. I don't recommend drinking
That
tap
was
water
horrible.
unless you filter it. You must filter your water because otherwise you're getting all the crap that's coming through the water system, which includes microplastics.
Plus the rotten taste.
Well, the chlorine, of course, and well, research, I remember it was a few years ago, there was an article about a study that was done on the water coming through Portland, through the Willamette River, and they were finding all of the drugs, all of the drugs that were popular for people, antihistamines, chemotherapy, pain relievers, antibiotics, they were all in the water. Would you?
Antidepressants.
Yes, and antidepressants. That's right. That's
That's
another
a
category.
horror. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much horrible. So if it's in the water, it can easily get into you. Get yourself a good water filter. Not just one, not just a little one. Get a good one. And that's what I have for today regarding plastics.
Mm.
Do you want to ask any questions or discuss this a little bit?
Well, you'll notice that anything processed comes in packaged in plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Just about. And you can't hardly shop at the grocery store without, even in the quote and unquote fresh aisle, it's all in plastic.
Well, not only that, Patricia, but we're getting into a winter season and lots of our fruits and vegetables will be coated with a waxy substance, and it's not wax. It's some kind of a plastic which prevents dehydration, drying out. It helps preserve freshness, and of course, that's what you end up eating.
The one comment that that video you showed, I understand that grass-fed beef is safe and desirable for us to eat. Now they criminalized red meat in that video that you were showing, but they didn't say grass-fed. We need the grass-fed. So what
That
about that?
Well, I agree. However, please understand the point they were trying to make, that it is a large animal that has been around for a long time, and most beef consumed in the United States is not grass-fed.
Well, that's all I buy. So
Uh-huh. Okay. And so point that they made was that plastics accumulate in larger animals. It accumulates in animal fat. So is it accumulating in your fat too? Then yes, of course.
so
So
about
I
the
under-
grass-fed?
I would say, how did they water the grass? Is the grass exposed to our air? Is the grass exposed to watering? Then that is also getting plastic, maybe not as much as as
In a
beef
feedlot.
in a feedlot, maybe not as much. Certainly a better quality meat. You can see it when you're looking at the two different qualities of meat. They're different color, they're different texture. It's miles apart. Yes. Are you still getting plastics? Yes, because plastics, you cannot refute this. Plastics accumulate in the fat of animal meat.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to stop the recording and we'll just continue with our chat, okay?